that we have today and the kind of scenarios that played out in various political parties, you still have those scenarios reverberating even to today in the political climate, in terms of campaign, in terms of all this. You don't even know where you are going. Take, for example, the PDP. You still have some governor doing Anigba, okay? Look at the APC. You still have the issue of Muslim ticket or whatever. You have the religious group forming themselves into political pressure group, as it were. Look at Kwakwanso, look at what is playing out there. Look at Obi. These are leading candidates. So the impact of the fallout of the primaries of these political parties on what is playing out now and the likely outcome of the election of 2023. How do you see it?
Thank you very much. You see, political parties are the, if you like, the substratum, the foundation on which democratic process in a given political sphere is deepened, okay, built. If you look at what happened in the major political parties, PDP, APC, Labour Party, NMPP, in the course up till now, going towards the elections in 2023, you will discover that the larger interest of the citizenry is not the moving passion for politicking. Let me explain.
Okay.
Look at PDP, for instance. They'll be looking for a candidate. They ended up with Atiku. Somebody who was once in PDP, jumped ship, went to APC. ACN, thank you.
Back to
PDP.
Then APC.
Then
back to PDP.
Then back to PDP. Okay. And most of the last 8 years of governance in Nigeria, he was in Dubai. Not in Nigeria. He lived in Dubai. Spending money, putting money in the economy of Dubai to buy clothes, eat, feed his family, fuel his car, pay his rent or pay tenement rate on his mansions, whatever there, okay? Only comes in here and goes out. Now he suddenly turns up, he wants to be president, okay? Now that's who PDP has for us, okay?
APC.
Now you go to APC, and then you see them talking about, we've done so well over the years. It is somebody who says, as a sense of entitlement, okay? I mean, you can quote him, okay? That's why
it has even become a
mantra.
A mantra,
yeah.
kind of it.
That's why he says he wants to be president. It's my turn to be president.
Not Nigeria.
Not, I believe I'm best placed to serve as president. They mean two different things, you know. That's who APC has now said we can have, okay? And they put into our faces the scenario of Abiola and Kingibe Radi, a Muslim ticket, forgetting that the times have changed. When we all voted across the board that time for a Muslim ticket, religion and killings in the country, largely the perceived oppression of Christians was not the issue. Okay, now that is in place. We have had again and again instances when that happened, and all you had the president say to Autumn, for instance, tell your people to go and learn how to live with others. I watched it live on TV. It's there. I'm sure it's in the archives of NTA. Okay, you know, that's what APC has given to us. Okay. You now have Labour Party turning up with somebody, Peter Obi, who used to be in PDP, and for want of a platform to contest the presidency.
For want of a platform.
Oh yes, it's there in the reading space. Anybody following what's going on? For want of a platform to contest the presidency is there, you know, as presidential candidate. Meanwhile, In the PDP, the after effect we experience now, is because likely because Wike lost the presidential primaries over there. And there was an understanding within the party, that the chairman would leave, if another candidate emerges. Now, another candidate emerged, the chairman demurs at leaving, and is now quoting constitutional provisions of the PDP, and article is also quoting that, saying there's nowhere in the constitution that says a chairman vacates office in the manner Wike demands. Okay, we must follow that. Okay. Forgetting that there was a gentleman's agreement. Now you have that effect reverberating. Okay. So you now have Kwankwanso. Okay. You have Kwankwanso and the problems they had with Ganduje and other. Now say, I could be a spoil sport or sorts. Because take it or leave it. In Kano, he has a very large followership. Kano, Jigawa, Zamfara, all those places. And I never met him, but hear him talk, hear him articulate Nigeria's situation, you will agree with me that he is a presidential material. I speak for myself on that note. Okay. Okay. Not campaigning, but you're asking me a question. Okay. So, but his party is not one of the major political parties. Okay. He doesn't have office all over. He doesn't have the spread. As the typical fellow in Oyo State, on the street, who is Kwakwaso, you can't tell you what are you talking about. Ask in Benue, go ask in the east. Okay, maybe when you ask in Kano, everybody can tell you they know who Kwankwanso is. So for now, that's what you have. Then that will look to you like a mess of confusion. Okay, some will tell you presently, we are out there on the streets. Some will tell you presently that they don't really know. Do we have a candidate really that we can say is worth our votes? Are we just left with, what do we then do in the face of no votable candidates, as it were? That's what situation presently.
At least you must go for one.
But then it's like being between the devil and the deep blue sea. Okay? Between the rock and the hard place. So that's what the situation really is now. Okay. When we talk about folks campaigning for the presidential office, you have somebody that many believe this man is a wheeler dealer. When he was vice president, if you read Obasanjo's books, and Atiku has not gone to court to sue Obasanjo for defamation or stop the book from being published. So it is taken that all that Obasanjo said about Atiku is true, and you want that fellow back in office, and then you want somebody else who is now saying, by entitlement, I am next to be president. Just for that reason, that's not good enough. But that's where we find ourselves. Okay. If we had that independent candidate properly entrenched in our constitution, it would have been a different issue.
Okay. Where we are now, that is the reality of the moment. As you have painted it.
Yes, it would appear so from my prism.
Okay. Now, but someone must be elected.
That is that's why I say we are between the rock and the hard place.
And you look at the way things are now. To what extent you say it will help Nigeria to pick a candidate out of all these materials, all these candidates who have spoken about, easily, such that through the first ballot, a president-elect will emerge?
Thank you very much. What would help us most, in my personal thinking, is for us to have one of these people we've been talking about coming out to really tell us in black and white, in very
clear terms,
lucid terms, this and that other thing is what I intend to do. Hold me by the throat, hold me to my words, and this way, and that way, and that other way is how I intend to do them. Those are the things we want to hear. For instance, you would hear from Tinubu saying, I will continue with the legacies of the present APC government, APC-led president government. That in itself alone, in sane climes where the people are politically conscious, probably much more than we are here, it's enough to deny him the presidency. All what he's telling us is that the security we have had for 8 years now, insecurity we have had, is what we will have. Because the approach of Buhari to the issue of insecurity has not yielded the results we expect to have. I will tell you, you can read these things in the newspaper. They are there in the open space. There have been several instances where people have faced insecurity, particularly in the north, and they will put calls through to the military. Calls get through to the presidency. You do not find the military men there rendering assistance to the typical citizenry. It is after the deed is done, hundreds killed and buried, then you have, oh, we got there and the terrorists had gone. Do you have instances where there were mourning, cries, tears, and you had the president there under 48 hours? He has the presidential jet. He has security, the commander-in-chief. He can go anywhere in Nigeria he wants to go. He was in Bauchi yesterday or the day before. Okay? Bauchi is a hotbed of insecurity. He was there. He's the president. He has the command of the armed forces of Nigeria. Terrorists can't get to him there. So he cannot tell us that the place is insecure. That's why he did not go to commiserate with the people. You would only hear from him from the newspaper probably a week or so after the terrible and dastardly deeds are taking place. Okay, he's not there. So if Tinubu tells us, oh, that's what we will have, he is telling me that what I've experienced an APC government do in the close to last 8 years of the presidency is what it will continue with. Are you with me?
Okay.
That is the implication. In Senate claims that in itself alone is enough to dig a terrible hole in his presidential aspiration. Now, what is Atiku telling us? Oh, I will ensure there is security. Now, don't just tell me that. How are you going to ensure there is security? You must tell me exactly how you intend to do what you say you will do. And that is the essence of these debates we're talking about. This town all community debate. Already, Tinubu has said he's not obliged to attend any debate. That is not good enough. Because you see, who will want to be president is a servant leader. A person who is disposed to servant leadership. You do not ride roughshod over the people. That's not who we are talking about. Who wants to serve? That's what we are talking about. Okay. If you are saying, I'm sorry. Okay. If you are saying you do not want to come to a debate, that's the place where you can stand before the people. People like Sheon Okunbaloye, Femelani Pekos of this world, can ask you questions. What do probing deep questions that you were not consulted about before you came to the soapbox? They cannot ask you, what about this? What about this? And the way you respond to those questions, say to us exactly what your inner sanctum looks like, what your perception of Nigeria's problems and challenges are, and what you want to do about them, how you want to address them. If the people are not satisfied about what you are saying, they can begin to say, oh, we think we want to vote for this person, we think we want to vote. But if you are never at those debates, and all you do is to go to campaigns and say, do you like me? People say, yes. And a lot of times these crowds are rented. Do you want me to be your president? Yeah. We are not talking about that. We are talking about politics, campaign of issues. And what you would have noticed these days is they abuse each other to tatters. They get personal to tatters. And that's not what we're talking about. What we want to know, do campaign of issues. The best place to do that is the debate. In fact, I expect the gentlemen of the fourth realm to organize more debates and run these people round those debate circuits. Those who will say they won't attend debates, let the electorate know that those are the people who do not take them to mean something, who take them for granted, and who are not ready to tell them exactly what they want to do. And if you are not ready to tell me exactly what you want to do in office, that means you have little or nothing to do. Just telling me you continue with a legacy with which I have been dissatisfied for close to 8 years. That is not good enough.
Okay. Do you see a president emerging after the first ballot?
In my
It's
own
likely possibility of a runoff.
Well, in my own thinking, and as some pundits are already saying, it's not likely that we will see one emerging state of things might change. I just talked about the attitude of the front runners, to campaign and politicking. It might just happen that today, Atiku begins to tell us exactly what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. It might just happen that Tinubu tomorrow clarifies what he said. When he said, I will continue with legacy, and begins to tell us exactly. I have nothing personal with the front runners. I don't know them, I'm not campaigning. I'm just talking about what I read them say in papers. If they change tomorrow, we might just have a situation where we could say, oh, it will look as if we will have a clear candidate. But if they continue the way things are presently, they are not doing campaign of issues, and if they are talking about anything at all, they are putting the wrong foot forward, we may not have a clear winner at the first ballot, largely because the people don't really know, what are these people saying? What are these contenders? What are they really about? Okay.
Okay. Before we come back to what the Independent National Electoral Commission said in terms of preparation for a second round of election, runoff, as the case may be, for the presidential election, so that they won't be caught unaware.
Nappy.
Let's go. You have spoken a great deal about the campaigns of these political parties, whether Tinubu, whether Atiku, whether Kwankwanso, whether
Obi,
and some other these
SDP, some SDP, SDP fellow making some rounds.
Okay. What precisely will you say is missing in the campaigns of these presidential candidates?
Okay. What one could say is this. Like I said before, issues.
Okay.
Looking at the education sector, looking at the insecurity in the land, looking at the power sector, okay. Those three key areas. You don't talk about infrastructure. If the power sector falls in place, education sector falls in place, security sector falls in place, you will discover that public infrastructure issues will also just key in. You discover that the economy will roar into place. Okay. But what you have presently now is a situation where they are not addressing issues. They are bantering and abusing themselves. What one would expect is for them to look at issues. Now you will discover that at the political campaigns of PDP, you have not had IU, the chairman of the party, largely present and represented. Okay. One would expect that he is the image of the party.